where's the transparency? Where is the live chats? Where is the classic Discord to actually talk
Thank you for the
about
follow,
Classic
John, man.
Plus?
Appreciate it, brother.
Where's the developers in charge of their team? Like, what is going on? And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's like it gets to the point where we all sound like broken records, but it's like, man, this is all we have like left in this scene.
Achievements, not really much to say there. It's a Wrath change by itself in vanilla. Maybe not a huge deal, but again, if you start adding all of these features from other expansions, you do run the risk of it simply not feeling like vanilla.
To a certain degree, yeah, that for me, that's what I would say it is, right? I don't want anything super custom. I don't want, like, you know, all those things. I would just like to see those zones, man. Like, open Hyjal, yeah, go to the Furball, make like a Furball raid, maybe make that a Shara battleground that everybody was talking about back in the day, maybe open up like the Karasan as well, maybe go to Uldum as well. Like, there's a lot of things you can do, right?
Guys, I'm gonna be honest. This like, to make Classic Plus into what it needs to be is a complex thing. I'm gonna be honest, if I wanted to give better suggestions, I would need to study game design for a while. Like, straight up, I would need to understand these things. I've been a WoW player for 20 years, 21 years. I've been playing games my whole life. I still think I would need to become more educated to really do this how it needs to be done. Like, these things aren't simple. Like, on the surface they're simple, but when you start thinking about it, it's like, crap, is this a good idea or is it not? Is this going to be played out in a month or is it not? Is this going to have the longevity? Is this going to be exciting? Like, I would have to study it, I'm going to be honest.
What does Classic Plus look like to you? Is it about adding new zones? Reworking itemization? Expanding talents and spells? Introducing new quests, dungeons, and raids? Any reasonable WoW player would likely agree that these ideas would be welcomed by much of the Classic community. But Classic Plus is not just about additions, it's about how the accumulation of changes ultimately shapes the gameplay and feeling of World of Warcraft Classic. There has already been a lot of discussion on what direction Classic Plus should take. Turtle WoW and Project Epoch are prime examples of experimental directions that have resonated with players. At the heart of this conversation is the idea of horizontal progression. Players want Classic Plus to evolve in a way that adds depth and longevity without falling into the same pitfalls as retail WoW's vertical power creep. Take Blizzard's survey questions about features like transmog and battle pets. These are both valid forms of horizontal progression, but players often reject them outright due to retail associations. The problem isn't the features themselves, but how they're presented. For example, transmog could be opt-in. If you transmog, you see other transmogs. If not, you see gear in its original state. That way, players who value PvP clarity or prestige displays in cities don't lose their experience, while those who enjoy customization can still participate. So what does Classic Plus look like in practice? Is it a prestige system that resets you to level 1 at cap with added perks, giving the journey replayability? A complete profession overhaul, allowing crafted items to be upgraded and remain relevant throughout leveling? A weapon talent tree tied to weapon skill, unlocking nodes as you use that weapon type? Arena modes with spectator options and even betting systems? An entirely new class never before seen in WoW? Adding systems and features can enrich Classic, but at what cost? Vertical progression will always run into problems. Gear becomes obsolete, player power skyrockets, and earlier tiers lose relevance. Horizontal progression is more sustainable, but it raises its own questions. New zones and quests expand the lore, but how do you handle dungeon gear? Should it match current item levels, or exist in parallel tiers? Consider retail WoW's expansions. Entire continents were added, but players mainly return for storylines or cosmetics. Will new zones alone keep players coming back? Will they inspire players to re-roll and experience the journey again, or will most simply rush to the new raid tier? One of WoW's greatest strengths was its progression treadmill. You grew stronger with each level and each new piece of gear. but vertical progression eventually has to end, or be squished down like in retail. Horizontal systems could extend Classic's lifespan, but they must be implemented carefully so they don't erode what makes Classic feel like Classic. Personally, I want Classic Plus. I want new zones, dungeons, quests, and raids. Zones like Azshara could finally be fleshed out, or entirely new areas like Hyjal and Gilneas could be introduced. This kind of world expansion would be welcomed by most of the community. But long-term, new systems will be necessary. Blizzard will need to find creative ways to introduce fresh, replayable content that doesn't just raise item levels. Whether it's transmog, battle pets, or something entirely new, Classic Plus will look radically different from vanilla after 10 years of ongoing development. Blizzard, as a business, will also need monetization options. Turtle WoW already sells utility items for real money. For Classic Plus to exist and thrive, some version of that will be inevitable. The problem is that discussions often stop at knee-jerk rejections. Many players dismiss potential systems outright because of retail's track record, without considering how they could be tailored to fit Classic. Both players and developers can do better at communicating what we want and what we expect. It won't be perfect. But if the community and Blizzard work together, Classic Plus could evolve into something that breathes new life into Azeroth while still preserving what made Classic timeless. Everyone's vision of Classic Plus is different, but with enough shared ideas, we can help shape it into something great.